Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Reach out to me directly. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, there be dragons or sea monsters. In any case, we have a monster of the deep. This is the Oris Aquis Pro. Now, the Oris Aquis Pro 4000 that you see right here is an outgrowth of the old Pro Diver collection. So bigger than the Aquis, more technical than the Aquis, but ultimately not as marketable as the Aquis name. So for 2023, the Oris Aquis Pro 4000 meters subsumes the old Pro Diver line, and we get a monstrous 49.5 millimeter grade 5 titanium diver that is rated to 4,000 meters. The watch, 49.5 in diameter, is 54.9 from lug tip to lug tip, and a colossal Leviathan-like 23.7 millimeters thick. This is one of the thickest watches I've ever reviewed. It is not designed to fit under any cuff, and it's probably not going to be your everyday watch, even if you've got the wrist for it. We'll put it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist here, and you know, it's sitting and it's fitting in that sense, but if you want this to look proportional, I don't even think you're going to get started with a wrist smaller than 18 centimeters circumference. It doesn't feel like it would move around, and it does feel like it would be comfortable. But again, just proportionally, this thing is so outlandish, you almost need to be a football player or some sort of NBA power forward to really make this work. Either that or an actual diver who doesn't mind the size and appreciates the utility. So one more look down the barrel, one more look over the top, and then humorously the cuff shot. Now, you're locked into an Oris strap here, but that's fine. You can see it's a nice piece. It's thick. It's matte finished. It's got a striation that extends the gap visually between the lugs. The lugs are connected to the strap using proprietary screws and bars, so a very secure system. It's not going to budge. We have a strap that tapers as you move down towards the buckle, and you can see there's no crimping, no gouging, no damage. This is a brand new Oris factory strap. The buckle features a combination of polish and satination and engine turning, and while mechanically applied, it's quite attractive. You can also see that the strap tucks in underneath the buckle, the idea being that all the excess length hides underneath the clasp and the strap, so it's clean. There's no length flapping in the breeze externally, and there's no need for minder loops. Now, this is a twin trigger release clasp, so you have to press both of them to open it up. It's titanium like the case. It's not going to fly open, even as heavy as this watch is. And Oris has built a slider system in, so you can actually take in and take out length and micro adjust while all of this is on the wrist. So this is a very clever system. And you can see that the strap does have some pre-scored marks. It is designed to be cut to length. Just get close and use the fine tuning. We will take care of that for you when you buy the watch. We will make sure this is a match. Now, the case is very different from a Seamaster or a Submariner in that the lugs are stepped out from the case band rather than blended in smoothly. We have polish, we have satin, and because of that, you realize this is grade 5 titanium. So grade 5, like grade 2, is hypoallergenic and lighter than steel, but grade 5 can be polished, and it's more scratch resistant than steel. Grade 2 stuff really can't be polished, but this is a very resilient type of titanium. Helium escape valve for saturation divers. When internal pressure exceeds external by about 2 to 3 bar, the valve opens and releases any helium that might accumulate in the watch during saturation type dives. The crown guards are fixed with screws, so if they need to be removed after getting gouged or damaged in action, they can be. The crown is media blasted, oversized, knurled, and polished. And then we have the RSS, the rotation safety system for the bezel. So you can see how I'm moving this around and nothing is happening. The ceramic inlay is remaining stationary, but when I pull it up, now I can position this incredibly crisp and positive 120 click bezel over my minute hand, lock everything back into place. Now I've got my 0 to 60 minute count up timer. This is a good time for a loom shot. As you can see, The entire bezel and all three hands on the dial are loomed, and the first 15 minutes of the dive are calibrated in blue so you can track them more easily. I really like having a fully loomed set of hands in the dark and a fully loomed bezel because it makes it easier to A, know whether your watch is running during a dive, and that's what the second hand gives you, and two, having a fully loomed bezel makes it a lot easier to gauge increments of time than if you have just a luminescent triangle. This allows you to accurately read minute by minute how long you've been in the water for utmost precision and safety. And you can see how long it glows. Some watches have lume that dies quickly. This one just roars. Okay, lights back. That crystal, my God, that crystal. That is one of the thickest and most dramatically boxed sapphires I have ever seen. And you will be impressed by this dial. It's got a little bit of a gradient wave design, so the outer edges of the waves are darker blue, and the center's lighter. We've got a little cyan counterweighted second hand center, and then we have all applied indices that cantilever from the outer track to the inner. You can see this is a 5 days power reserve. This uses the caliber 400. So we've got a couple of subsidiary setting modes, one of which is stop seconds. And then the other, we could just find the clutch position there. The other is the quick set system. Now, the reverse of the case, because this is a monstrous thing designed for deep dives, the reverse of the case actually features some conversion factors, which might be useful if you want to convert meters to feet. And underneath that, we have caliber 400, an Oris twin barrel automatic that, along with the watch, has a 10-year service interval and comes with a 10-year warranty. The twin barrel movement has 5 days of power reserve, and it is adjusted in 5 positions to grant accuracy of no worse than -3 + 5 seconds per 24 hours, which is better than a chronometer. The 21 joule in-house caliber has a silicon escapement for reduced sensitivity to magnets and reduced maintenance requirements. It also has absolute resistance to magnetic fields up to 2,250 Gauss, which is superb. So it's a long-legged movement with 5 days of power reserve, chronometer-like accuracy, resistance to shock and magnetism, and it is made by Oris and backed with a decade-long service interval and warranty. There is very little not to like here. This watch has a movement that is as impressive technically as the watch is physically. It's an imposing thing. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And just in case you absolutely need to know for sure, yes, it is an automatic movement. I noticed that isn't on the dial, and people sometimes ask if I don't mention it. This is an automatic caliber. Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.